Simmons, how's it going? It's Shani today here. Welcome back to a new Sims tips and tricks video, and today is actually something that a lot of you have been asking for, and it's been really highly anticipated, and I'm stoked to jump into it, in that today we are going to be covering an updated cheats video for The Sims 4 on console. Now I know I have covered this on the channel in the past, but that video is really outdated now, and I wanted to do an updated cheats video as well as give you a little bit more in-depth insight into some of the cheats and some other stuff that I have found and discovered along the way from playing Sims 4 on console. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. First thing straight off the break, I do need to reference now, of course, is that Sims 4 on console does support keyboard and mouse. I have done a keyboard and mouse controls tips and tricks video, so you can go check that out in the cards right now if you are going to be making the switch. But I will be covering both mouse, keyboard, and control options for this video, because there are some places where you do need to right click, shift click, and all of the other stuff combined. So to jump into the cheats, there are two sets of cheats. There are the BB dot cheats, and then there are the debug and testing cheats. Now, to enable the testing cheats, which allows you to change the money, it allows you to edit households, it allows you to go in depth into full edit mode and all of the other stuff, those you need to actually enable cheats on your save file, which will then on console deactivate and stop achievements and stop trophies from being earned on that specific save. Now, before I jump into that, I want to explain the difference, of course, between those really intense cheats and then the BB cheats. Now, the BB cheats are cheats like move objects and show all hidden objects, which you don't need to enable cheats for. So that is the main difference. As I get slowly into the cheats throughout the video, you'll be able to discover more and more about that. But if you don't want to turn achievements off and you don't want to turn trophies off, depending on whether you play on PlayStation or Xbox, then the cheats that are safe to use are any of the cheats that start with BB dot. If you're looking to use that move objects cheat, because we may want to place something like a shelf, like I'm doing right here, and you may want to place something, and then unfortunately, because of the parameters of the game, there's certain places where you cannot insert in other objects. Now, this affects a variety of different things, so all you need to do is you need to pull up your cheat console, and to do that, if you're on controller, you're going to be pressing your L1, L2, and R1, R2, or right and left bumpers, as well as right and left triggers, depending on PlayStation, Xbox. Or on keyboard, you can just use Control-Shift-C together on your keyboard. That'll bring up that cheat console, and then you just type in bb.moveObject space on, and then that'll give you the prompt that the move objects cheat is on, and you're able to place any object wherever you want in the world, regardless of the parameters previously set by the physics in The Sims 4. To turn that cheat off is just very, very basically, it's the exact same cheat, except you're going to be going bb.moveObjects space off, and that'll let you know that the move objects cheat has been turned off again. The other thing that I do want to mention, if we have a look at all of the sorting here and we go through all of the decorations, if I sort here by base game and I just scroll through everything, you don't see any of the stuff that you know is in the game but need to be collected or unlocked or discovered throughout the world, whether it be from digging up sites or from opening time capsules, or from fishing, or from different progresses throughout the different collections and stuff. And sometimes I feel when especially if I'm doing a build, I do feel like I'm looking for the extra things that I don't necessarily have a family to populate the world with in order to unlock those things, or in order to discover them in the Sims world. So another one of the BB cheats that is really, really handy and useful to use is bb.show hidden objects, and that'll unlock all of those extra things that can be seen throughout the world and that do get unlocked. So I'm talking all of your postcards, I'm talking about all of those unlocks when you reach certain milestones. Those are the two BB cheats that I use quite frequently. The last BB cheat that I want to get into before we actually enable cheats and go a little bit further down the rabbit hole is I want to chat about the career unlocks. Now, obviously, these are locked throughout the duration of the game until you reach those different levels in the careers and as you unlock them. But sometimes I feel, once again, if I'm in builds and I'm with a certain family and I don't want to send any of them down a specific career path, but I feel like a certain object would be absolutely perfect in that situation or in that moment, all you're going to do is you're going to open up that cheat console once again, and you're going to type in bb.ignore gameplay unlocks entitlements, and that will unlock all of those different career items so that you can buy them and place them within your world. Those are the 3 BB cheats that I did want to cover that of course do not affect achievements and do not affect trophy progress in your save file, because you do not have to enable cheats to have those cheats work throughout your gameplay. Now, moving on to the more advanced stuff though. If you are looking to add money cheats or full edit mode, then you are going to have to enable the cheats on that save file, and that will of course turn your achievements and your trophy progress off on that specific save. So what I've done is I have one specific save on my console that is very specifically for cheat gameplay, and then I have another save file that doesn't have cheats enabled, which I can still progress in my achievements and my trophies. So in order to enable cheats, you are going to have to open up that cheat console, and you're going to have to type in testing cheats space true, and that will bring up this warning. And of course you do need to unfortunately accept that warning in order for any of the other cheats to be able to work. We are going to jump into the money cheats first, because ain't nobody got time to work hard for a living. Everyone does know the motherload cheat, which of course does add 50,000 simoleons into your Sims bank account, and that will give you a healthy lump sum to get you out of debt or to let you buy something really nice for your Sims. But if you're not looking to give them that full investment and that giant lump sum of cash, of course there are 2 different alternatives to give you smaller amounts of money, and that is either Ka-Ching or Rosebud. Either of these, when typed in, will give you 1,000 simoleons, and that I kind of like if you are going to be using cheats in your save, is because it'll just give you an extra 1,000. Maybe you can put it in twice and give you an extra 2,000 simoleons, which isn't that lump sum of 50, so it doesn't put your sim necessarily in a different like pay grade, but it does give them a little bit money if they don't have enough to pay their bills, or they really want to buy something, or you want to complete a whim, or whatever the case may be. It just gives you that little bit of extra money and that little loan to be able to tie you over. So those are the straightforward and standard ones. You can actually set a finite specific amount that you want to have for your household. So say now you don't want to put in multiple motherloads or multiple Ka-Ching cheats. All you want to do is have a set amount of finances. All you need to type into your cheat console is money space plus, and then the exact figure that you want to add to your household funds. This will replace the current household fund, so it will either add or it will subtract the amount that you want to add to that household. So as I can show you example here, I'm adding this certain amount to the household funds, and of course that is going to add there. But if I want to only have them have this much amount, then it is going to subtract depending on what I've input after the plus symbol. So that is a really cool one, especially if you're saving up to buy a house. But it's not always about the money, right? There are some other cheats that we want to get into as well. So I do have my game paused for this, just because my game currently isn't bugged or it isn't glitched. But I have found, especially on console, that sometimes my Sims do end up getting glitched, and they either get stuck in a specific action, or they won't move, or they won't progress further. I have found this happens more on the career lot, so usually when I'm at the hospital, when I'm playing Get to Work, I do find that sometimes my sim gets bugged into a certain area and he gets glitched, and unfortunately there's nothing I can do there, and he basically stands still for the rest of eternity. So if you do want to reset your sim for whatever reason, there is a cheat for this. All you need to type is reset sim space first name and then space last name. So the spelling does need to be exactly the same, of course, as the sim that you are going to be resetting, and that'll just reset. As you can see there, my sim jumped back into the middle of the living room, but also had all of his pre-loaded tasks at the bottom of the screen. It did reset all of those, so your sim has been reset now, and you should be able to regain full control of them. That is just in case your sim does get a little bit stuck. I do find that happens from time to time in my gameplay, so that has helped me out of a tough spot every now and then. Because we have enabled the testing cheats cheat script, we do find ourselves in the debug mode. So you are able to right click on your sim now, and that'll bring up edit in CAS mode. CAS, if you're not familiar, does stand for create a sim, which is the create a sim mode, where you go into where you usually create a family or edit your sim's appearances. Without having full edit mode on and just being in debug, you can't change things like traits, you can't change the gender specifics, you can't change age, you can't change anything that is preset about the sim. Sometimes gameplay does call for wanting to change traits. Maybe you've married a sim into your family and you want to change them from having an evil trait or hates children into something a little bit bit more forgiving that'll allow you an easier time with that sim. So all you're going to have to do is you're going to have to type in cas.fulleditmode and then press enter, and then you go back into right click with your sim and you will be able to open up that full edit mode. Now if you are playing on console, instead of just pressing A on your sim, you're going to press A and B at the same time on your controller, and you will be able to right click on the console and that'll bring up the full edit mode again. You'll take it in there, but now as you can see, we do have all of our options editable. We can change traits, we can change voice, we can change age, we can change everything about our sim now. This last cheat is something a little bit more advanced, but I did want to cover because I find that this personally helps me when I'm building a storyline for a let's play, or when I'm just too lazy to have a sim work on a specific skill for a career promotion. Say now we would need to get to level 3 of the charisma skill. All you're going to do is in your cheat console, you're going to have that specific sim selected firstly, stats.set_skill_level space. Then that is the first half of the cheat that is always going to be included within the different skills that you're going to be upgrading. This next part varies depending on which skill you want to affect, and then of course which level of said skill. So for Andre specifically, I want to increase his charisma to charisma level 3. So what we're going to be doing is going major_charisma space 3. We're going to enter, and that will give him the charisma level 3. Now this works with not only the skills that you have already learned the first level of, but of course skills that your sim may not have already learned yet. So if we go over to his wife and we're going to want to increase her mischief level, of course, and we're going to take that to mischief level 5, what we can do is once again stats.set_skill_level space, and then because mischief is a different skill, we're going to go major_mischief space 5 and then press enter. Because you did have these skills open, you just need to click off of the sim, unpause and then repause, and that will of course bring up the new skill that your sim has just learned, as well as to the specific level that you have chosen. So you can set these between level 1 and level 10 depending on how far along that skill tree you want them to have learned a skill, and then that of course does fall into all of the skills currently here on the screen right now, depending of course on which skills you have and which packs you have as well, because of course certain skills are only relevant with certain game packs and certain expansion packs. So that is going to be it for the cheats video today. A little bit of an updated one, a reminder that if you would like to see more of the controls and tips and tricks and anything else that I have covered on the channel specifically relating to Sims 4 on console, make sure you check out the playlist in the cards right now. So if you did find the video helpful and have friends that may think the same, make sure that you share the video with them as well. If there's something I didn't cover in this specific cheats video or in this specific tips video that you would like me to cover in a future video, please let me know in the comments below. If there's something that I left out that you thought could be beneficial to anyone else, let me know in the comments below as well. I do appreciate it very many muchnesses. So if you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave that like, subscribe if you're new around here. Remember that we all human differently, and I'll see you guys again soon. Cheers!